Welcome to Meet Me in Tennessee. I'm your host, Sabrina Morton. We're sponsored by Northeast Tennessee Tourism Association. Their website is northeasttennessee.org, and go check them out for lots of fun things to do, places to eat, lots of good ideas on there. If you're looking for an event for the weekend, go on there and check out the events calendar. So today I'm very excited to have Amel from Bella Vita restaurant in Johnson City with us. This is my favorite place in Johnson City. I'm there regularly. They are sick of seeing me. I'm there at least at least once a week, probably twice, really. I have like a bad addiction to Bella Vita. Welcome, Amel.
Thank you for having me.
I'm just going to let you talk and tell us just about your business, about the history of it, how you got started.
Well, my name is Amel, like she told you, and I work at Bella Vita. I own it now, and we've been open since 1998, and still open. Grateful for all the opportunities in this community and keeping it going. And it's been a great ride, and been there since I was 11, and now I'm 33, and I don't know anything else. And I love it, and the history's always been on treat the community how they treat you and have their back, and we've lived off that since day one, since my father, since me, now my brother, my other workers and family and friends who come from out of state and they want to work for a week, I let them work. Just it's all like family, and it's always been about family and how you can help another, and if someone needs a helping hand, we try to help, and that's what the restaurant's about. I always kept it different. I didn't want to be a restaurant that you walk into and you forget about it. And last night I had a customer come in, and he hasn't came over, I would say, about 15 years. And I've been coming here since your father had the place, and you kind of like want to tear at those moments, tear up, and you're just like, you can't, because you put them in an awkward situation, but you just let them try the food, and then like he was ecstatic, and he's like, oh my God, everything tastes the same order I had before, thank you. And like, I live for those moments. It's not about the $400 bill or the $200 bill or even the $20 bill. It's just like you live for those moments that made you who you are today, and that's what we try to do. And I let my workers be who they are, let them sell for themselves, because you never know who they can be one day. I was in their shoes. I was a waiter at 17, and my dad trusted me, so like I try to trust them the same way and let them be their own person. And everyone has to be their own person. If you tell them you have to be like this, you're just like putting corporate in their minds, and that's not what John City is about. If you want to have corporate minds, you can work for corporate companies or restaurants. That's fine. But I'm not a corporate person. I'm one, and I only want to be one at the moment. And I want to be all hands-on and have my employees hands-on, and we want to do good things together. It's not all about just Bella Vita. It's about just the community and workers and people and taking care of your own. Mm-hmm. So that's what Bella Vita is about, and we're going to keep it going however long we can.
So you and your brother both owners?
Okay. Both owners, yes. After my father passed away, we didn't know what route we're going to go to, but I had a good idea, and I started cooking 3 months before that. But luckily, I had like a memory in my head watching my father cook everything when I used to wait tables, because some people would come in with different specials. There'll be a Bob special or Charles special, and they'd always make up different dishes, and I would remember them when he cooked them, because when they came out, I would know what would go in it. He goes, what was in that? I'm like, what was in that? I was like, red peppers, shrimp, you had veal in it, and mushrooms, I think. He goes, oh, okay, baby, I got that. Okay, baby, okay. And I was like, all right, good. So, like, learning how to be a waiter helped me learn how to cook, believe it or not, because visualizing, seeing it, instead of just reading a book saying, this is what this is, I got the visual of it, and I appreciated that the most, because I can go back to old menus that my dad had and dishes that we don't have anymore, and visualize him cooking it when I was a kid and make it. So it's weird, but like I'm more visual hands on than I am like I can remember this. I just have a visual picture and I'm like, okay, that's how you do that. Or it was that, you know. So
That's very cool. Um, so does your brother? Do you guys split up what needs to be done? Does somebody do more of the business side and somebody else does more of the hands-on? Or I know I
I
see him
mean,
in there working
he
also. So.
like he'll wait tables and then mornings he'll do prep and he'll do you know, other things that need to be done. I would say I'm more hands on,
Mhm.
as in like bookkeeping, paperwork, pay that bill, pay this bill. Like I was geared up for that as a kid, sign my dad's checks, and he does sign checks too. But it's just like my dad geared me up little by little by little, and then like he geared my brother up also. Then I gear my brother up also to do the next thing. So if anything ever happens, he can take care of it, and I'm sure he could. But we don't have any like fights or any
Mhm.
arguments about who owns this, who owns that. Like I'm very how do you call it? Caring. Like I don't really care about money. So if he ever need anything, I'd help him. So like it all works out. And sometimes he makes more money than I do when he waits tables. I don't. I mean, hey, I'd rather go back to waiting tables and have all the responsibilities. So he has an easy way out at the moment, but you never know. Things could change, and the older he gets, maybe he wants to be more active in just cooking and find love for that instead of waiting. But I think he enjoys waiting tables because how me and my father did it. You wash the front, I wash the back.
Mhm.
So like if my brother doesn't work, whoever's waiting table, like you wash the front, I wash the back. But I'll still go around and check on tables because like that was still my brain. Watch my dad do it and get to know the customers because I don't get to see everyone who walks that door sometimes, and I used to see everyone and like not meeting that person for the first time. It's like man, like I wish I could have met them when they were there because even if they write a bad review or good review, like I can't fix the problem if you're not telling me or telling a wait staff or
Mhm.
a busboy or anyone. And you get bad reviews sometimes and you get good ones, but either way, they're both good because you can look at like what you can work on and what you don't have to work on, and everyone has their own opinion, and you just have to agree with it, even if you don't like it
Mhm.
sometimes. So, but me and my brother are doing well, and all my other coworkers they help me, and I'm really proud of them. And if I didn't have them, I couldn't do it because I couldn't go back to working 7 days a week, morning to nights.
Yeah.
So I have more freedom now than I ever had in my life.
Well, all of your employees, I feel like I know them all personally now. All the,
Yeah.
so your kids out there working waiting tables
Yeah.
are like they're friends now. We know them all and what's going on in their lives, and
Oh
it is
yeah.
definitely a family
We're
atmosphere.
very outspoken, so it's like you know our business without knowing it
That's
sometimes.
right.
You know.
Little too much information. It's fine though. It's fine. And I know that my fiance and I are one of the girls who works for you. She's like, "Oh, you're my favorite customer." She said,
Kaylee,
"Kaylee." She
Kaylee,
said,
yeah, she's awesome.
"Somebody asked me the other day who my favorite customer was," and then I felt so honored that we were her favorite customer. So,
Well, like when you guys come in, it's just like you guys understand. Not everyone understands. When we get busy, you guys know. Like sometimes, like on a Friday when you guys came in. I mean, it's been about 2 months ago when you guys came in and sat in the middle. We're busy, and your food takes time
mhm,
sometimes. And I think I asked him, I'm sorry. He's like, no, it's okay. I'm just glad to see you're busy. Like
yeah,
those reactions are awesome. And then sometimes you have some people like, why did it take an hour to get your food out? I was like, listen, like we try to give you bread and salad immediately because on Friday and Saturday, if we don't, we know you're gonna wait because some things might come out before yours because baked things or pizzas and you order say a seafood dish or a
mhm,
veal dish. We have to make it right there and then. I don't have a microwave. I don't have things that cook your food quicker.
mhm,
I'm still using the same equipment my dad had. And a little over time, I've changed a few things, and I'm going to change more and try to make a bigger kitchen if this keeps going this way. But you have to count for those months when you're not that crazy busy. Am
mhm,
I going to spend that much money on a gas bill or add this and this and this? Because everything's going up. Food
yeah,
prices going up. And the more I add on stress to myself, I'm adding more stress to all my employees, and I don't want to do that.
yeah,
So I try to keep it minimal to what I can handle and what they can handle. If I have a bigger place, then I can be able to handle it. if I had more workers, it'd be more complicated because I haven't been with me so long. It'll take years to get them
Mm-hmm.
used to us. So when I do the hiring, I know this is not the smartest way, but it's like I hire because of people's personality intentions for their own good, and if they're going to be good to me and good to my customers. It's not about making the buck. It's not about how good an employee you are. You can be an amazing employee, but your personality can stink.
Yes.
So like it's not all about that. It's all about if you can take care of my customers and be nice to them, because some of these customers are like actually like family. They've been coming since I
Yeah.
was 9 before I worked there. So like they saw me grow up. They saw the fat chubby kid with big ears and a bowl cut like Jackie Chan when he was a kid. Like they saw that kid grow up. So like I want to make sure I keep the visual ability the same my dad did.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes that's very hard to do. But sometimes I'll say 50% I kept it the same. And some half I did it my way. My brother did his way. Or the wait staff did it their way. And sometimes their way is better than my way. So you learn off of them, not knowing, oh, I could have done that way.
Oh yeah.
So like I learned something my dad did, but I found a better way to do it, quicker way to do it. And I was like, oh wow, why didn't I ever think about that? Why did he ever think about that? Maybe he did, but like I figured out on my own. So it's a good thing, you know.
How did your dad get into the restaurant business? Your family's from New York. Is this correct?
My family's from my father and my mother are from Montenegro originally, and they immigrated to United States in 80, I think 86. I could be wrong. And I was born in 89. My brother was born in 93. And my father used to help one of my uncles. He had like a pizzeria in Manhattan at the time. And then my dad washed dishes at a few other restaurants in Manhattan and learned off them. And my dad moved here because I had an uncle who had a restaurant here also.
Was it an
And
Italian restaurant?
yeah, it was an Italian restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
My dad, I think, started there cooking, helping out a little bit, and then learning from them. And my dad didn't cook for almost, I think, maybe a few months. And then he opened his own restaurant in Abingdon called Amores years ago, in 90, I said late 97. And it worked out, but my dad figured out having a business partner. And she was a woman like you, very strong, passionate for work, and wanted something big. And he knew it wouldn't work out because her husband, my dad, and my uncle were very, not, I wouldn't say like flirty, but it's just how they are. They would talk to you like, "Oh, baby, I don't see you in a long time. How you
Yeah,
doing,
yeah.
baby? You're beautiful, baby." Like stuff like that. And then I guess he didn't like it. And my dad was like, you know what, like I'm gonna go do my own thing. Like, thank you for the opportunity. Nothing against you to the woman.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, no, it's okay, I understand. And my dad didn't work for about almost a year. He was painting houses because when he first immigrated to the States, he was painting buildings and in the Bronx where we were living
Mm-hmm.
and making little ends meet. And then he's like, well, if I can't cook or have a restaurant, I'll just go back to painting. And he was painting these big houses, huge. And he had opportunity. The guy he was painting for, he was our landlord. We lived in these apartments, and we came from nothing. My mom had to work for the guy to help pay the apartment, and my mom had a discussion with him one day, and my dad did also about opening a restaurant, and found a building and needed a deposit. The guy gave my dad a deposit, and we opened up Bella Vita. Well, I did. My father opened up Bella Vita, and where it is today. And it was funny because we didn't have enough money to renovate then. So for the first, say, 98 to 2004, we never did no renovating. So we'd walk in, it'd feel like you were in a Chinese / Italian restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
So like you had it from the ceiling from the other end to the other end were like dragons and Chinese symbols. And then you had like the big chandeliers that Chinese restaurants
Right.
have in the middle. And we didn't have enough money to renovate. My dad just opened. But he used their same table to put tablecloths underneath it and the glass.
Mm-hmm.
And literally, my dad had the best reaction to everyone, and it worked. Like, is this a Chinese restaurant, sir, or is this an Italian restaurant? He goes, ah, baby, Marco Polo went everywhere, baby. It's okay. And they was like, you're right. So like, my dad was good with his words, and like it always worked. And people, it worked because, hey, you should go to that Italian restaurant that has Chinese ceilings or the Chinese decorations. So like, what?
It
People
became
like
a thing.
that makes no sense.
Yeah.
So it became a thing, and it caught on, and like, my dad had enough money finally to renovate and build what he wanted to build in there, and what he did, and that's what you see as today. The bar. I rebuilt the back room, of course. There used to be a back room right there also. And we always laugh now as like kids will sit at the bar, because where the bar was where all the kids sat when the parents worked. We didn't have babysitters, so we sat in the back room closed until about 5 to 9 so we can come out again. And we used to be so loud. My dad would be like, hey, what's wrong with you? We have customers. Like, stop. I'm like, okay, I'm sorry. My uncle would come in and was like, are you guys crazy? What's wrong with you? So like we'd be wild in there, and like we used to have this big ball as kids. It had a bunch of rubber bands in it, and we used to throw it against the wall, and whoever got hit was it. And like, and now it's just funny because now when we stand there, it's like there's a bar there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'll have like a glass of wine or a little bit of whiskey or bourbon. I'm like, man, time does fly. Like this room was like our kid room, and now like everything is evolving. It's all changing, and it's amazing what my father did, what my mother did, to come to the States as an immigrant and to be who they are, who my father was, and who my mom is today. Like, you get a mix of both of them, and you try to learn off their mistakes, and you're gonna make your own. And I'm proud to have a father that opened a business, and the struggles through everything that he had to go through to have a business and leave something behind for his kids to live his legacy.
It's really amazing now. It's so hard for some people to find jobs, and then you were given this gift. And I know it's not, it's hard work.
Oh,
yeah. I've never worked in a restaurant, and it's because I've heard so much about it and how hard it is. So that's such a gift that your dad gave you, and also you see him in there, and I know you all have got pictures and just memorabilia and things, and I hear people come in and talk about him a lot of times when I'm in there, but I never knew the whole story.
Well,
but I know you all
we can go for hours. Like he always taught us like how growing up, like everyone goes to school for one job. Like if you go for school for one job and you say, I don't know how to explain, like just put a restaurant terms, I want to be a waiter. Okay. I want to be a cook. Okay, this guy wants to be a dishwasher, and this guy wants to be a bartender. This one wants to be a waiter, and this one wants to be a host. My dad looked at us and says, I don't give a shit, baby. You do everything. You do tables, dishes, pizzas, cooking. I don't care. You're not busy. You do everything. So like, we didn't want to do that because our mind was one track, like tracked one-minded. Like we just want to do that one thing, but we're forced on the fly to do the dishes, to do the bartending, to do the cooking, to do the pizzas, like run around to unload the truck at the same time. Like we weren't like, okay, we're gonna call this guy Bill to come in and do the truck while I'm cooking. No. Like everyone has to learn everything on the fly and everything together. Because if you have one job and it's just waiting tables, like that's boring. To me, that's boring. So my dad taught me and my brother how to like do everything. So we know how to do it if we don't have that person come in. Okay, there's no dishwasher. I look at the cooks. Hey guys, we're gonna split duties and go back and forth. And we have to do that sometimes. Thankfully, I don't have to do that here lately, but sometimes you have to. So I'm thankful for that too.
Yeah, and you can tell everyone's cross-trained there because one day they'll be, you don't know who's going to ring up your bill. Everybody does everything, and it's very cool. I love that. Because like you said, if somebody doesn't show up, you're not screwed. Then, you've got backup.
And sometimes when people get, we taught all the customers, and it's kind of weird because we're not like at a restaurant. We don't put a ticket at your table. So, we don't want to rush you. Because, we put a ticket at your table. Thank you. I hope you have a good day. It's kind of saying, here, get out.
Yeah.
So, my dad always said, don't give no one a ticket. I'm like, why? And he goes, I'll cash them out. I want to ask them how good their food was. Was it good? If they don't like it, I'll take it off the bill. Like, I want to know. This one, my dad ran the register and cooked at the same time. I was like, okay, that makes sense. But that's going to be a lot of work for you running back. He goes, my dad's like, I don't care. He's like, I want to know if they liked it. And I want to tell them I cooked it. And I'm sorry. Or thank you for liking my food. And, or even the server doing it. Cashing out. It's like kind of like old school. Like you go to the table to get cashed out instead of doing the credit card, see you later. You know, that to me is not like, I don't know, it's very, like you're just telling people to get out. And we don't want to do that.
It's just transactional.
Yeah, we just want to like, you know, see how was everything and then like, you know, hopefully see you soon. Like, I don't know. And it's an easier process because we don't have a lot of computers there. We kept it a little old school. We have that little POS thing, but we don't have it going in the kitchen. So we do everything handwritten, and it's worked ever since we opened. So we try to keep some things the same because could you just imagine going to an 85-year-old to hand thinking, okay, you want this? They'll get so mad at you. I don't want that now. Okay, you don't want this. You don't want this. Or hold on one second. No, write it all down. It's quicker. So we kept it that way. You know?
I like it. I like the old school methods of things.
Oh, yeah.
I just think it's much easier a lot of times than trying to figure out, find the right button and do this or take this off.
I know what you mean.
Tell me, let's see, what's the funniest thing that's happened in the restaurant? Have you had any just crazy? Just give me a crazy story from the restaurant.
I got so many of them.
I had a feeling that you would.
A funny story.
Or it could be like a bad, like disaster.
I mean, I'm not gonna say bad, but I'll give you.
Nothing bad happens at Bella Vita.
I'll give you two funny stories, two quick ones, and one was this one was my dad. So at the time, my dad was working. He was really busy, and I was talking to this girl a long time ago, and we're just all hanging out. My dad comes out, I'm like, hey, it's my dad. And the girl brought her mom here. She was like, my dad's like, oh, nice to meet you. My name's Sammy. And then my dad's like, wow, who's this woman? And she goes, that's my mom. Oh my God, the baby, give me a hug. He hugs her. He goes, oh my God, you smell like spicy meatball. I was like, I turned red. I was like, I'm like, you don't tell me she smells like a spicy meatball. But she loved it. I was like, it's your accent. Like, if I would have said that in my accent, she'd probably smack me. Like, stop. And, like, I turned so red. So, like, I was funny for me. And then another funny time with my father was Valentine's Day, I think, like, like 13 years ago. And we were balls to the walls. It was crazy busy. And this guy ordered a small pizza and an Alfredo. So the Alfredo don't take too much time to make. It came out. When it came out, his food came out 5 minutes later. It's crazy busy. And the kid, he's a young guy, and he was like, I want to talk to the manager. I'm like, I'm right here. What can I do for you? And he's like, well, this is ridiculous. Why did it come out 5 minutes after? I'm like, well, listen, man, it's very hard to time out Alfredo and pizza. Pizza usually comes out first, but, like, the timing is very hard. It's Valentine's Day, and no one really orders a pizza. And I was like, I'm sorry, but, like, you know, I work something out with you. Like, I give you a deal. Don't worry about it. Don't be like, you know, like, give me free dessert and take care of it. And he's like, no. I was like, okay, well, then what can I do for you? He goes, I want everything for free. I was like, well, it's not going to happen. I mean, I can give you your pizza for free. I don't want to cause a scene. We're really busy right now. So, like, we'll do that. I'll meet you up front. I want to talk to the owner. I'm like, she don't want to talk to the owner. He's like, no, I want to talk to the owner. I'm like, she don't want to talk to the owner. He goes, okay, well, that's fine. We go to the front, and then my brother's cashing them out. And my brother's like, can you please talk to this guy again? I'm like, sure. He goes, I want to talk to the owner. I'm like, listen, man, I want to tell you to your face. If he comes out here, you're not going to like it. And you're going to, like, not like this. I'm trying to help you, and you're not going to like it. And there's a long line trying to cash out. He goes, I don't care. I said, okay, you don't care? And I'm like, hey, Bob. Bob means, like, dad in our language. I'm like, Bob, this guy wants to talk to you. He was like, about what? I'm like, it's that kid complaining about the pizza. Oh, he wants to talk to me? Fine. Goes out there, goes, what can I do for you? He's like, sir, I waited this long. It's like, I know the problem. But listen, what do you want? He goes, I want everything for free. Everything for free. Are you crazy? What do you think? I open up this restaurant to give you something for free? Are you stupid? He goes, excuse me? He goes, my dad's like, are you stupid? Like, are you mental? He was like, I don't know what you're saying. My dad's like, get out. I never want to see you again in my life. Get out. So he like goes forward, tries to put his finger in my dad's face. And my dad goes, oh, okay. Pushed it and then kicked him in his butt. He goes, get out. And he like walked out. And my dad was like mad and straight to embarrassed, matter of seconds, because everyone in the restaurant was clapping.
That's great.
And my dad was so embarrassed, like not embarrassed because he got embarrassed, like, oh my God, I just kicked this guy in the butt and he got to walk out. And then like walks, and he's like walking back and was clapping. I was like, the reaction, I didn't think it was going to happen. So like he gets mad at me for it and yells at me, why you made me go up there? What's wrong with you? I'm like, what'd you want me to do? Like, kick him for you? He goes, I didn't kick him. I'm like, you kicked him. And like, it was whole. And then like, after that, he goes, if it's Valentine's, maybe never call me go up front. Tell everybody, I'm not here. I don't cook today. Just don't not here. It was the funniest thing ever.
Awesome.
Like, I swear, there's so many stories all the time. And like, there's so many to count from. I've done craziest things ever. Like, in my stage of like going out and being wild, I walked in the restaurant. I was hungover one day, and you know, like I don't recommend anyone go to work hungover because it's not smart.
It's
But I was like, you know, I was 21, so I was like, well, you know, I'll be fine. I'll be good. So we have a salad prep table where we put all our salads. I'm making salads. I'm good to go. My dad's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm good." He goes, "Are you drunk?" I'm like, "No, I'm not drunk. I'm good." I'm like, fine. I'm like, all right, cool. So I walked by him with like 6 salads, and like the door where we go out where we cut our bread and our pizza oven is, you're supposed to go out that way because there's like a salad table. You just put it all in there or in the bottom. I walk by him in the back while he's like prepping stuff, while he's cooking with salads, and I walk in the drink station, and I put all the salads in the ice machine, and then close the ice machine. Don't remember doing it, nothing. And I walk by him again. I'm like hanging out. He comes up front with his hands up. He goes, I swear to God, I never see a stupid kid in my life like this. I'm like, what are you talking about? Who's stupid? He goes, why you put salads in the ice machine? Are you stupid? I'm like, no, I'm not stupid. He goes, I don't know what school you go to, baby, but you need help. And that was it. And I was so embarrassed. Like, so many stories. And I can go on forever, and funny things happen. And I don't know. Yesterday was a funny one because Julian was like, called me in the back, and he's like, hey, we're out of spinach. I couldn't make veal saltimbocca. Like, all right, cool. Take the phone, call the guy. I'm like, hey, sir, like, I want to let you know we're out of spinach and I can't make the veal saltimbocca. I added extra prosciutto, but would you like something else with it? Like, I mean, we can put broccoli. He goes, no, can you just make sauteed broccoli and slice and try out of spinach? I was like, yeah, man, anything for you. It's our fault we're out. So, you know, we'll give you whatever you want. No big deal. So we cook everything, we get it done. The guy calls back and goes, hey, since you didn't have spinach for the veal saltimbocca, could you, like, you know, just make me a side of spinach? And it's okay. And Julian's like, what? He's like, no, you know, like a side of spinach. He's like, no, like we're completely out of spinach. He goes, oh, okay. I'll see you in a few. So like things like that happen. We just laugh because like we always expect people to know like how restaurants work.
Right.
But like, wait a minute, they don't work in restaurants, so we just get a laugh out of things.
Right.
It's fun. It's
You
always a good time.
think that would even understand if there were no spinach for this, then there's also no spinach for this.
Oh yeah, and so many stories of the landlord owns a building. She's Asian, and my dad, like at the time when he first opened, couldn't speak good English, and watching them two argue was like a movie.
Oh, I'm sure.
It was a movie. They both barely spoke English. It was a movie. It was hilarious. But
So you all are just going to stay in your location?
we're
No
gonna stay in a
plans of moving?
location. I don't know for how long. I have other plans. I don't know if I'm like ready to share them. It's all in my head.
Mhm.
I don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow or next month, next week, next year. I'm always on the fly of open-minded to different things. The only reason I like to stay in that location because we have everything nailed down to how it was and kept it the same. Never changed it. Once I open, say, a bigger place, if I ever do, it will never be the same. I can't come out and talk to you. I can't get to know you. I can't look at that back window when you come in. And I see your future husband that gets gets the Gambari, and he don't get Panay, and I see he didn't get right. I'm like, you sure don't enjoy it? He goes, how'd you know? I'm like, I can't visually see everything anymore. I can't do what my dad did and what I did or how my workers do now. It's going to be 10 times the stress. But it's not all about money. Like, it's all about keep things together, being part of the community. And, yeah, we got to pay bills, but, like, it's not all about making hundreds of thousands of dollars to $1 million. It's all about, like, staying lifted and keeping things going. And you know what? One day you might have just 10 tables, but the next day you might have 40. And the next day you might have 50. One day you might have 5 or 4. But you know what? That's okay, because sometimes we get a break because we work 7 days a week. That's fine. But we know the next days will be crazy because this is how it works. Because we have the regular clientele come in. You have some new people moving here from all around the United States. And it's amazing meeting different people from different states, And I want to keep it small for the moment. But who knows? Maybe it'll be number 2. I don't know about number 3. But 2 one day. I don't know where, but
I was going to say, would it be in the same, would you stay in this area? Would you expand?
Yeah, I will stay here. I mean, I was raised here, so I moved here when I was 5, so I'm not going anywhere.
So what made your parents decide to move from the Bronx to, how'd they pick Johnson City?
One of my uncles, they owned a restaurant, that's why.
Okay, so the uncle was right here. Okay.
He started working for them for
I always like to know how people got where they are.
Well, we moved here, and it was a culture shock for me because I was like, wow, so I used to see, like, buildings and skyscrapers, and now I'm like, cow? What the hell is a cow? I've never seen a real cow. Like, I always see, like, cartoons. I'm like, that's a cow.
It's an actual cow.
And it was a while. So, like, seeing all the mountains,
yeah.
Like, this is beautiful. I mean, of course, when I got older, you're like, I want to go back to New York.
Yeah.
Then, like, the older you got, you're like, I don't want to pay that much for rent over there. I'd rather stay here and enjoy the community, and enjoy Johnson City a little more. And who knows what life takes me on if I retire. But I would like to stay here. And my footprint is here. My life is here.
Well, you all built something great there.
Yeah.
You get the same customers your dad has had and had a relationship with, and you can. It's cool. I'm always watching people and listening, and I hear people talk frequently about your dad and just about how long they've been coming there, and I think that's just really cool. And I think it's super cool that you remember our orders and it's us. That's kind of amazing that you do that for everyone.
My waiting tables days comes back to me after like I look at tickets. Like, I'll see a ticket, and if it comes in the back, I don't have to look up front. I'm like, hey, he doesn't want prosciutto. Go make sure. They're like, how do you know that? I'm like, I've been doing this too long. Like, things like that, or like, hey, he don't want tomatoes, or he don't want. I had an incident yesterday. A lady got me one time. She ordered Colonial pasta, and we put the dressing on top. And she eats Italian dressing. But, like, I went up to the table. I was like, well, hey, I know last time we messed up. You don't want Italian dressing on it. What dressing did you want? She goes, blue cheese. I was like, thought so. I was like, I didn't want to make another one. We were busy yesterday morning. I was like, here you go. Like, save. Like, yes. I didn't mess up again.
Awesome.
It's like having the muscle memory of, like, people is, like, amazing because, like, you can, like, talk to them and you can sometimes guess what they're going to order. Like, it's funny. Like, you can, like, guess. And, like, my employees do the same thing. They'll guess. I bet they're going to walk in and get a lasagna and Alfredo. Like, we just guess. And we can see when, like, people like composure, I'm like, they're definitely getting Alfredo. And it happens. It's funny.
My favorite dish there came from you all being out of lasagna, which happens. I mean, everybody loves the lasagna.
I just made it last night.
And so our waiter that night, I was like, ugh, because I was like, again, you were out last time. But I know you guys get super busy and unexpected. You don't always know. And he said, try the manicotti with meat sauce. It's the same ingredients. And now it's my favorite thing.
Really?
I never get lasagna anymore because it's not quite as big as the lasagna.
And it's very light.
Yeah, it's so good. And the
sheets, there's only got one sheet instead of all the multiple sheets lined up.
And the meat sauce is my favorite. It's so good.
Make that.
So good.
Make that every Sunday and sometimes every Wednesday. Whenever we run out, we make it. But like we always tell people, hey, we're out. We have to make this tonight. I'm not an early bird. Like, you got me up early. Which is fine. But, like, I'm not an early bird. I'm more like late night. I don't go to bed till like 3 in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
and like I'll stay there and do what I need to do, get it done. And like you can't just shut. If you're in a restaurant, you cannot shut down because like you're always running.
Mm-hmm.
So it's so hard if you go to sleep early. And I'm not an early bird, but like if I'm up, I'm up.
Yeah.
You know. So I enjoy like being by myself during the night and prepping because no one's coming to that front door trying to sell me something
Right.
or someone's asking me this question, that question, because I'm fully invested into people. Of course, cooking
Yes.
too, but when I'm fully invested in someone, I'll forget what I need to get done.
Right.
And I don't mean to because like I'm just so invested in people and talking to them. And if there's an issue, I try to fix it or like hearing their stories. And
Mm-hmm.
I like hearing other people out. And I just love working at a restaurant. It's fun. That's all I've ever done.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know anything else. I don't. You know?
Well, you were just made for it, I think. It's just your destiny.
I hope so.
Okay, so finishing up. Okay, also I was going to comment on your Italian dressing. It is my favorite thing.
Yeah,
I could
my
put it
father.
on everything. It is so good. I actually buy it and take it home
People
sometimes.
put it and marinate with their steaks.
Oh,
Yeah.
I've done that.
We sell a lot of it around like Thanksgiving. People
Mhm.
will use it, marinate their steaks, or like they'll use it for the dressings, and people will take
It's
it
delicious.
out of state.
Uh-huh. It is. It's fabulous. You could bottle that and sell
We
it.
put it in like
Mhm.
jars.
Yeah.
We buy them.
Oh, I've bought.
$7.99.
Mhm.
But like
I buy it pretty frequently.
people buy a lot of it. I always forget to buy jars and I'll put them to go cups, like old school. Like, to-go. One time we put one in a wine bottle because we didn't have any glass. He wanted a big one, and the guy liked Chardonnay. And we were talking about Chardonnay.
You're
earlier
right,
before we got
yeah.
on air, and he told me a story. He was like, "Man, you know, like I was out of wine. Oh, look at the fridge. Honey, we got more Chardonnay over here." And he went to go pour the Chardonnay because he didn't shake it. And
Oh.
it sat there for a long time.
Uh-huh.
He didn't know what it was. When he poured it, it was like the
Oil?
Italian dressing, the
Mhm.
oil, and the black. He's like, "Honey, we gotta take this wine back. We don't know what this is." She's like, "That's the Italian dressing you got from Bella Vita." He was like, "Oh wow!" He goes, "It took me so long to process that. Like, yeah, we did buy that because you guys were out of jars."
Mhm.
That's fun. It was hilarious.
I need to start bringing your jars back probably. So
If you would bring jars back, what I do, I'll just take $1 off.
Okay, cool.
I mean, that's what I do because it's just like you help me not go to the store and buy more jars. Thank
Yeah.
you.
I need to. I'm doing a big clean out because we're moving, so I'll start gathering jars for
Moving
you.
stinks. I know the feeling.
I know,
don't
dreading
like
it.
moving at all.
So these are just a few fun questions I always do at the end.
Okay.
In a movie about your life, who would play you?
Who would play me?
Mm-hmm.
God, I don't know. That's tough. I don't
Now
know.
Tyler, my fiance, said there's some actor who looks like, and I can't. Do you
Oh,
remember? I didn't get it.
Jason Momoa. The
No,
guy
that's
who
a good
played
one
Game of
though. I could
Thrones
see
and-
that.
I don't know about that. That guy's big, man. I need to start at the gym. Maybe. Dang, I don't know. Was it Russell Brand? He said, "Is that it?"
No, but I could see that too.
Yeah, I don't know.
I can't remember. He'll
I don't
tell
know
me
who would
after this
play-
podcast.
I don't know who would play me. Like that's tough. I mean, I don't know. I mean, if Jason Momoa was like 100 pounds lighter, maybe him. How about that?
That's a good choice,
That's
though.
a big guy, man.
It's the hair. You got
Yes,
that,
the hair.
that lovely, beautiful long
Yeah.
hair. And then your brother, does he shave his head on purpose, or is it just
No, he
gone-
shaves it. Yeah, he has
Yeah,
my
he's-
dad's genes. I have my mom's
Okay.
genes, so he has to shave it.
Does he get
Yeah.
mad?
No, he
At
actually
you?
likes it.
Okay.
No, he doesn't.
He's not
mind.
jealous of your
He
hair?
had curly hair.
Like,
He-
I'm jealous of your
he
hair.
had-
I wish I had it.
My brother had an afro.
Oh,
His hair
really?
would grow like a curly. My dad's hair
Uh-huh.
was the same way. So he's like, he likes it short anyways.
Uh-huh. Okay,
We
good.
all used to cut our hair short.
Uh-huh.
We played basketball. We worked out, and like, I got nicked real bad in the back of my head. I won't say where it was at when I was younger. And after that, I was like, I'm done with haircuts. And I wasn't trying to grow my hair out because my hair grew out like straight out.
Mm-hmm.
I just started like wearing headbands. I feel like I was in a volleyball high school team when I did it when I was growing out. It was hilarious, and then I just kept it ever since.
Okay, cool.
So,
Well, you're very lucky.
no, no, no.
What is your favorite local dining spot besides Bella Vita?
Just
Obviously.
one or like,
Any. Name as many as you want.
I mean,
I love small businesses and I love local. We try to not go to chains.
I don't go to a
but-
lot of chains, but I would say like favorites. I like me and my daughter love going to El Charlie's. That's
Mhm.
gotta be like top 5. I love going to Tommy Ties.
Mhm.
That's family right there. Him and her and her husband are like family to us. Or a house, man, it's tough. I'm trying to think. I don't go to many places.
Do you eat at Bella Vita
I do,
daily?
but I'll make my own dishes
Yeah.
sometimes, different things.
Mm-hmm.
So like I don't really explore too much, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But like if I had to like if it's Tri Cities, I would go see my buddy who owns Nova's in Greenville, and his sushi's amazing. I try to keep it family oriented. Who's my family people, and
Mm-hmm.
like go back to them, and like that's what I like to do. Like if I have a relation, like like, cool to go to labels sometimes, have a different
Mm-hmm.
atmosphere, get a cocktail.
Yeah.
That's good. And I haven't been to Red Maze in a long time. That place is amazing
Yes.
too. But you know, I would say those five
Okay.
are like great local places,
Yeah.
and there's plenty more. There's
Yeah.
plenty more local places that are amazing. And, Freiberg's is good too.
Yes.
I love Andre. He's a good guy. And like we all are the same. Like when everyone says like you have friends, my friends are restaurant owners, people who work in restaurants,
Mm-hmm.
waiters, waitresses. Like we all can relate. It's like when we go to a bar, we all can relate and talk. And hey, this happened, that
Mm-hmm.
happened. So I like relating stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like if I go to El Charlie's, I know all the wait staff there since I
Mm-hmm.
was a kid. My dad used to take me. So it's like, it's funny. Like, I feel like I got older than they did. They all look the same. I'm just like, man, I got a beard now. And I'm like, you guys look the same. It's crazy.
What is your signature cocktail? What's your favorite cocktail?
For me, I like
Mhm.
old fashions. Old fashions are my favorite for sure. And I like Woodford. I
Mhm.
put Woodford in mine. I'm a big bourbon drinker. I know you're not, but I don't know. Like that's my like sipping. But like if I'm not drinking old fashions, I'm drinking red wine.
Mhm.
That's it.
What
Really.
kind of red wine do you like? Is there a certain type? I don't
It
know a
used to be
ton about
Pinot
wine.
Noirs, but I've been big into like Malbecs lately.
Mm-hmm.
I like more bold
Mm-hmm.
and rich wines.
I like a Shiraz.
Shiraz are good. I can't do Shirazes.
Really?
They give me headaches. I don't know
Almost
why.
all wine gives me a headache
Really,
now.
I can't do Shirazes, and I like Shirazes, but like I just can't because I'll wake up, my head's like pounding, and I never get headaches. I'm like, why? I'm like Shiraz.
It's Shiraz.
Don't know why.
That's a shame. It's good.
It is good.
Okay, this is the last question. This is my
Okay.
favorite one. That's why it's last. What is your personal theme song? Like, what's the song that plays in your head when you're walking in?
Really?
You're walking into work.
Honestly, it's funny because everyone gets mad at me. Where like I always sing it like, when the moon hits your
Ah,
eyes like a
yes.
big pizza pie. That's some like
Perfect.
literally, and they're like, really, Amel again. Like I just can't help it. Like it gets me happy.
Yeah.
Or I would sing like Frank Sinatra My Way
Yes.
because like the new stuff's cool too, but like sometimes the old stuff I can relate to back when I was a kid and hearing that
Yes.
and going to like other restaurants my dad worked at or owned, and like I can visualize these songs playing. It's like I'm in a movie, so like I relate to those songs and it makes me happy.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll even play in the kitchen sometimes. Like, why are you playing this when it's playing up front? Like, I'm in a good mood. Let me be in a good
That's
mood,
right.
please.
Just let me do it.
So that I would say those two songs. I don't give me pick one, but I'd pick
That's
My
good.
Way from Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin. I'm on it. Like
I
it's
love
just
those. I love the Rat Pack. Love those
yeah.
old songs.
I love those. They were cool guys. Like watching.
were.
If you ever like watch interviews and them acting like, Dean Martin was the man. Like,
Yeah.
He's like one of my heroes. So
I love Dean Martin
he's the
also.
man.
I went through a big phase where that's all I listened to were just that type of music, Dean Martin and Sinatra,
Yeah.
and I just love it. But well, everyone out there, please go visit Bella Vita. I almost hated to tell everybody because it's my place. I don't want to be able to not get in there.
Everyone
so.
says that. They're like, wow. I regret telling everyone about this place because now I have nowhere to sit. I'm like, you can come to the kitchen and help me cook. They're like, no.
I'm going to sit on the floor.
So
Fine.
it's cool, and word of mouth is still the biggest. People always say social media is the
Mm-hmm.
biggest thing to get your name out there. If you ever look at my social media, I don't post. I have a life.
Mm-hmm.
I want to have a life out of the work. I don't want to sit there and post, come try this, come try that, come try this.
Right.
If my food is good, if my staff is good, if things are good, people will talk and tell you to go there. I have a customer almost every day. This lady told me about it who cuts my hair. This masseuse told me about it. This hotel told me about it. And like when they do that, and I know who told them, what I do is like, here's a free appetizer. You know what? You only got lasagna split.
Mhm.
It's on the house because you helped me gain a new customer. I appreciate that. Like I met someone really cool, really nice.
I'm gonna own your restaurant now because you don't understand how many people I've brought there. No.
Hey, you helped me pay the bills. Thank
I
you.
do. Yes, I do. I do. I own a little chunk
Well,
of.
stop buying homes. You might have to buy some stock in
I may have to. Hey, I'll do it. I believe in you.
I'm gonna call you. I'm like, Sabrina, we're open number 3. You want to be involved?
Yes.
Actually, we'll do number 2 first, then
Hey,
3.
I'm in. I'm in. You just let me
Perfect.
know. You've got my number.
For sure.
Go visit Bella Vita. You will not be disappointed. And that's all we have for today. Everyone have a good one. Bye.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Mel.